So sorry about how this effect on my webcam is. I don't really know how to work it, I guess. Um, I never made a video, especially like this. Um, so bear with me. But I just had to speak out on everything that's been going on this past week, this past 2 years, decade, whatever. And only reason I'm doing it, I don't really give my opinions on certain things unless I'm asked, or if I'm so enraged that I have to say something. And I am that enraged. Yesterday, after hearing that the case with Eric Garner did not, the grand jury did not indict the officer with any charges. We all know the story on tape. No gray area. This man just legally killed one of our men, one of our guys, with no repercussions. And it's outrageous. And I spent all day yesterday, I mean, literally crying at my desk, going into the bathroom crying. All I could feel, I mean, I don't know these people, but I felt like this was my brother. This was my father. You know, it hit close to home for me. And especially with having a son, I felt obligated to put my 2 cents in. And so I just wanted to say that this is out of control. Something's got to give, because if it doesn't, it's going to get really ugly. It's going to be a war, and I don't know if I'm so against that. And matter of fact, let me make a disclaimer now. I probably will offend somebody, whether it be the black community, whether it be the white community, minorities in general, police officers, whatever. And my apologies in advance, but that's how I feel. And either you rock with it, or if you don't. But first off, we don't even have to go over the stories. I mean, from Trayvon Martin to Oscar to Mike Brown to Eric Garner, this stuff is out of hand, and it's been out of hand. The only difference now is the media has got everyone wrapped, because they're using headlines such as white police officer kills unarmed black teenage boy, or black man unarmed. And I was wrapped up in this color thing, but at this point, I don't feel like a race is the thing right now. This is about the police officers abusing their power. They're abusing their power. And it just so happens they're doing it not to just black people, but it's the lower income housing areas. And I'm not even saying the hood per se, but if you're not in a certain tax bracket, it's a go. They don't care. They don't care. And I feel as though, I see the protesting going on. I see the die-ins happening in the malls. And as bad as it sounds, it's not enough. This is not the 1950s anymore, 1960s. I appreciate everything that past generations have done for us, but it's not working. It's not. The police have free will to kill you, to execute you before prosecute you, to demean your character while you're not here to defend yourself. And it's being mostly aimed at black men, minority men, Spanish men, or even so white young men that happens to live in poverty with the black folks. They don't care. If you're not in a certain tax bracket, they don't care. And it's time, in my opinion, it's time to switch it up. This whole peaceful stuff is fine. I'm not saying go out there and burn down your city. That's dumb. don't burn down your city. You don't mess up where you live. You go to these local governments and you make yourself known and let them know you're protecting yourself. You're protecting yourself out here. Somebody got to do it. I mean, even yesterday, coming home after an emotional day of work, getting caught up in all these comments and getting caught up with all these articles, coming home and my son talking back to me. And all I could think is, I got to handle this before they handle it. I have to. Like, they don't care. And it starts with us. Black women, we don't have it as hard as the men. Our men's the one they're going after. They know that the men can change things if they get on the right foot and stop playing around. But I'm sitting here looking at my son like, I gotta go hard because I have to. Because these police will take his life. And then I potentially will take myself away from my daughters. Because I couldn't see anything peaceful coming out of anything happening to my family. So it's time for us to stand up as a community. It starts with us, the minorities, period. It's time to stop. First off, I feel like the music, I love me a good trap song. I love me, some rap music. But these men, these young boys are emulating this rap songs. This stuff is not real. It's not reality. Stop it. Stop. That's the first thing. Secondly, I mean, as bad as racial profiling is, I feel as though it's warranted because 7 out of 10 times when black men are stopped, they do got weed in the car. They do have a gun in the trunk. They do got Molly in the back with the intent to distribute. Like, come on. You're giving them reasons. We are giving them reasons to pull us over because more times than not, they find something. And then it doesn't help that we got to clap back. And when we clap back, we already in the wrong. And then we'll have the nerve to be aggressive. Like, what I'm saying is the difference between white people getting pulled over or interacting with police is, first off, they know their laws. You can't get nothing over on most white folk, okay? Especially when they got a little bit of money, that middle class, the true middle class, where you are right. They know their laws. They treat the police like they're equals, rightfully so. They'll tell the police about the stuff quick. They'll tell them that you're not arresting me. And tell them why. They'll run down each law XYZ while recording them. And they stand firm. You don't see them bucking at the police. You don't see them threatening the police. But they will spit some laws to them quick. We need to start doing that. You can't just say whatever you want. Don't have no laws to back it up. And then wonder why they smacking you with a club. Wondering why they body slamming you. We got to stop that. Smarten up, enlighten yourself. Wisdom, knowledge, understanding. That's all y'all need to stick to. We need to stick to wisdom, knowledge, understanding. And then we'll be all right. Know these laws. Know them. Know them like you know your name. Know them like you know your alphabet. Wherever you live, know them. Nothing's going to change until we start giving them a reason to profile us. They're profiling us. They'll have us wrapped up for 2-3 hours, pinned to a ground, while we got a white man riding past with heroin in the car. And they laughing at us. They laughing. So what are we going to do? We're going to keep on protesting? We're going to keep what? When is something going to change? Really? It's time to wake up, realize it's not just all about black and white. It's not that simple. It's a little bit deeper than that. And it's time to smarten up. Raise our youth. Ladies around my age, stop making all these babies with all these different men, half raising them, your own kids, to go out on the weekend and wonder why in 10 years they're going to be locked up in a jail because they were raising themselves. That's the first thing. Men, stop trying to be so gangster. There is nothing that it ain't going hard because you're going around shooting up people. It is not going hard. You're not a true man because you will pop off with anybody that look at you wrong. A real man rides for his. He rides for his people, his community. He protects. That's the first thing, a provider and a protector. It don't have to get gangster or none of that unless it's deemed necessary. Stop getting all big and bad when it's not necessary. Get smarter. And then things will start shifting. Stop breaking down your own community and go to these daggone law. Go to the law. If you want to mess something up, go to the law. You don't come to where you live. Nothing's going to change, y'all, until we change ourselves, period. It's time to wisen up. I know this was a long video, but I just had to say what I had to say. I mean, it's been burning. Even with, so my roommate tells me yesterday, he's not wrapped up in this because it doesn't hit home to him. And he has the nerve to be black. And that's the mentality of a lot of y'all. It don't hit home until it hits home. Then you mad. Y'all better start doing something now. Because I'm telling you, it's not going to get no better. It's going to get worse. And when y'all try to do something, it's going to be way too late. Get it together. Everybody. And stop letting these cops abuse their power. Every time they pull you over, anytime you have interaction with them, make sure you have them on camera. Every time. Because that's the only way. And stop trusting these courts to police the police. These freaking attorneys, Commonwealth attorney, district attorneys, they are not policing the police. They are hand in hand. These police are bringing them back these convictions. These police are bringing them, they're building up the prosecutor's resume, which all prosecutors hold dear to them. So if you think that the court, the system is really policing these police, you are kidding. You are completely delusional. Stop thinking that's the case. Don't expect no type of justice, especially for minority groups, minority groups, excuse me, from the court, or it is not going to happen. It's time to start taking things in our own hands and changing it ourselves, period. Thank y'all for listening. Let me know your opinions. As I say, you know, let's rock out. Let's show them what we got. We in this together.